Hello, my discerning makeup consumers. Welcome to my perfectly healthy expression of makeup criticism. My name is Lainey, and this video is my personal 2019 fails. So, this video is not going to be as long as my 2019 faves because I didn't have that many fails. So, some categories I just didn't try anything bad. And I should also apologize. I no longer have any of these shitty products in my possession that I'm going to mention, so I'll just throw up some little pictures of the shitty products as I talk about them. So let's start off with foundations. I didn't try any shitty foundations. I'm not that big of a foundation person. I only tried a couple of foundations, and the ones that I tried happened to work. So no foundations. I should have also mentioned in my 2019 favorites video, I don't wear concealer, so concealer doesn't even factor into the mix. We also have powder. I'm not a big powder person. I only tried, I think, 2 different powders in 2019, and I finally fell in love with a loose powder in 2020, but this one will go in my 2020 faves if it stays at the top of its game, which I'm hoping it will. So no powders. And then we have brow products. Okay, there is a brow product. I tried the ColourPop brow gel, and I hated it. I love ColourPop, but that brow gel sucked. I just tried the clear brow gel since nobody caters to redheads. I think Fenty may have a good brow product for redheads, but I digress. So they didn't have any shade that would work for me, so I just got the clear brow gel, and what it did was it took off the powder that I used to fill in my little gaps in my eyebrows. It just took that completely off, did nothing to hold my brows in place. It was crap. So ColourPop, the brow gel, is bad. At least it was for me. And then we have blush. Did I try any shitty blush? Yes, I did. And unfortunately, I got a rag on ColourPop again. The blush sticks. I was so excited for those because I really like cream blush products. But when I used them, they were so oily and they were so slippy. They barely stayed in place. There was nothing wrong with the color, but just the texture was so nasty. And maybe it's because my skin tends to be a little bit oily and the mix just wasn't right, but they were so slippy, slidey, they didn't stay in place, they weren't flattering, they were bad. And highlighters, also, the ColourPop highlighting sticks basically did the same thing. They were slippy, they were slidey, they didn't stay where I put them. They made my skin look so oily, it was just bad. I think that those products are just not made for people with oily skin, or at least not made for people with skin that is oily the way mine is oily. They did not work for me. I do not recommend them. I've heard other people say that they're great, but they were total turds on my face. For eyeliner fails, now I try a shit ton of eyeliner, and oddly enough, I don't have that many fails. Most of the time, eyeliner works really well for me. I will say that the Kat Von D Inkwell liner did not work very well for me because it dries so fast. Before you can even do anything, before you can get it placed the way you want it, if you're trying to build it up, it dries almost instantly. So you can't do like a nice line, because usually I can't do a winged line in one swipe. I usually have to kind of do it a little bit at a time. It was skippy because it was drying as soon as I put it on. It wasn't a good product. I think most people are saying pretty much the same thing that I'm saying, but I have to say something a little bit possibly controversial. I tried the Glossier pencil eyeliners because I had heard really good things about them. They did not even deposit color. I tried, I think, 2 or 3 different colors, and they were all bad. It was like I was using a toy crayon that wasn't actually a crayon. It didn't do anything. It did not put anything on my face. All 3 of them just did nothing. And then I also, I hate to do this, but I kind of have to throw Urban Decay 24/7 eyeliner pencil into the mix because that eyeliner is beautiful on the upper lash line. It looks cool. You can do a lot of different cool looks with it, but in the waterline, it does not stay for me at all. Which is such a shame because they have such a good color selection and I love colored eyeliner, but that stuff just does not stay in my waterline. It's probably because my eye area is super oily, so I'm gonna blame my own skin chemistry, but it just doesn't work. Now, they did used to make a 24/7 velvet eyeliner, and the only shade that they had was black, but that stuff was the bomb. It was the best eyeliner that I've ever used for my waterline. I don't know why they discontinued it. It still hurts my heart to this day that I can't get that eyeliner anymore, but that was the bomb. The regular 24/7 pencil liner just doesn't work for me. Now moving on to eyeshadow palettes. Now I didn't have any particularly disastrous experiences with eyeshadow palettes, but I did not like the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Storm palette. The colors just weren't popping. They looked muddy on my eyes. It wasn't horrible, but it just wasn't good. And then the Love Luxe Beauty for the Love of Fall palette just wasn't poppin'. I have a big issue with Love Luxe Beauty because they digitally alter their Instagram photos. I know I've talked to a couple of you about that practice and it pisses me off because I have one of their palettes. Let me see if I can find it. Aha, the Something Gorgeous palette. As you can see, I have been digging into this a lot. Part of the reason that I've hit pan is because these shadows are really soft. These shadows have horrible fallout, but they look beautiful and they are poppin'. So I was expecting the For the Love of Fall palette to be equally poppin' based on the good nature of these shadows and based on the pictures on Instagram. And it was just very lackluster and disappointing. Not a disaster, but disappointing. And then finally, oh, I'm gonna get heat for this. I know I'm gonna get heat for this. But I tried the Kaleidos Deep Sea Luster palette, and that looked horrible on my eyes. That was the closest to a true disaster that I had this year. And I had been wanting that palette for over a year by the time I actually ordered it. And those shimmers, they just committed that deadly sin of adding nasty texture to my eyelid. And I know that that is not really necessarily a reflection on the quality of the shadows. That is just the properties of the shadows combined with the properties of my skin created nasty texture. I could not get that palette to work. It did not look good on me. I tried it 4 or 5 times and it just looked like a hot, chunky mess on my eyelids. And so I finally decluttered it. And I think that the reason I have been hesitant to get any of the new Futurism palettes from Kaleidos Cosmetics is because I had such a bad experience with the Deep Sea Luster palette. Now, I did get a highlighter from their collection and I do love that. I do have some lip products on order from Kaleidos. I don't hate the brand, but that palette was a big disappointment. And then of course I have to mention lashes, and I do have some disappointing lash stories. I tried the new ABH Norvina lashes and those were just meh. They just weren't that good. They didn't stay on that well. They were kind of wimpy. I used them a couple of times and then just didn't use them again, and no, they were just nothing special. I love the new Norvina pretty much everything from ABH, but the lashes just not great. Also, the ColourPop lashes. I was super excited about those. There is one style that I absolutely love called Mamie, and I wore those in a video. I'll link the video up in the cards. Those are good, but what I will say about them is that they fall apart really quickly. Like my beloved Huda lashes, those things will last me 10 wears at least, sometimes more than that. They are very sturdy. You can wear them many times. The ColourPop lashes, I'm lucky if I can wear them 3 times. They just fall apart. I mean, granted, they're $8 and these Huda lashes are $18, but I have really good luck with Violet Voss lashes. Those are $10. I have excellent luck with Sugar Pill lashes. Those are $7 or $8. The ColourPop lashes are just not that good. Even the style that I like, they fall apart. So, God, I feel like I'm ragging on ColourPop, and I really do love ColourPop, but I guess I order a lot from ColourPop, so I'm gonna have favorites, of course, and I'm also gonna have fails. That's just what happens when you order a lot of makeup from one company. Sorry, ColourPop, it's not that I don't love you, but some of your products are just not right for me. We're just not right for each other. It's not you, it's me. It's my peepers. It's not your product. And then a big skincare fail, a really particularly disappointing skincare fail that I had this year was Tatcha. I think it's called just the serum. It's this product right here. I was so excited to get this product and I saved up for it and I finally bought it. It gave me so many zits. It turned me into such a pizza face. It did nothing to like plump or hydrate my skin. It just turned me into an acne-ridden teenage girl. It was bad. I returned it. Sorry. And then for hair care products, I had heard so many good things about Olaplex, especially for people with like chemically treated hair or really coarse hair. I tried pretty much everything in their line for about 3 weeks and my hair texture got so awful. My hair, it got brittle. It started breaking. It was so dry. It was just terrible. Terrible. I can't believe that so many people say so many nice things about this line. I guess if you have a different hair texture, maybe it works beautifully for you, but if you have thick, coarse, chemically treated hair, and I should add that my hair is not bleached. I never use bleach to get this color. I just use Developer about once a month maybe, and the products that I use to get this color are from Arctic Fox, so they are vegetable based, they are natural. I don't actually put a lot of chemicals in my hair, even though people always think that that my hair must be so damaged. It's just coarse. That is just genetic. But Olaplex did me no favors. In fact, it did my hair a lot of harm. If you have thick, coarse hair, I wouldn't recommend Olaplex for you. Oh, and let's not forget the recent disaster with Venus Gale Multi-Chrome Flake fuckwads that I got in the Try Beauty box. Those were terrible. I hated the texture. They flew around the room. I was breathing them in. They were just ugly. I hated those things. But I love sparkly things. Those were just not the product for me. So let's move on to my makeup goals for 2020, the things that I want to try. Number one, I really want to try a Sisley foundation, the brand Sisley Paris. I think the name of the foundation is Cecilia Latient. I'm probably butchering that, but I had a sample of it a couple of years ago and I loved it so much. I don't even know if it would still work for me, but I want to get another sample, and if it still works for me, I want to be bougie and get some Sisley foundation. I'm also super curious about what I think is a new brand. It's called Lily Posh or Lele Posh Cosmetics. I found them on Instagram, and Angel, I saw your picture. You looked so gorgeous on their Instagram website, but they have these neon shadows that look so good, and then they have some really pretty glitters on their website. I'm waiting for the neon palette to come back in stock. I'm high-key curious about that brand. And then I still need to try something from Menagerie Cosmetics. I will try them eventually. I know that they're excellent quality. I'm just waiting for them to put out something that really, really calls my name. And I also want to try Sydney Grace. I just watched Jen Love's reviews. I watched her 2019 favorites, and she mentioned Sydney Grace, and she showed some of their cream shadows, and they looked so pretty. And then I think Teresa is Dead also mentioned Sydney Grace in a recent video. But anyway, I've heard a lot of really good things about Sydney Grace. So that is on my list of things to try. There are so many brands that have popped onto my radar and then kind of scurried off of my radar. But right now, in this moment, Cicely Paris, Lily Posh, Lele Posh, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know how to say that, but that indie brand and Sydney Grace are the ones that are on the tip of my brain to try in 2020. So at the end of the year, I will do a video saying whether or not I actually tried them. So that wraps it up for today. As always, thank you so very much for joining me. Follow me on Instagram. I will follow you back. Very special shout out to you if you were watching this video on the toilet. I'm doing this totally out of order. Throw me a pity like. Give me some encouragement to make some more videos. And until next time, enjoy your joy responsibly.